Good afternoon, this is Jerry over at Finn Tire and Auto. We do have your vehicle on the lift. We got done inspecting the vehicle. Ultimately, your vehicle needs some service. The rear brakes, ultimately the calipers in themselves, the driver's side caliper locked up. Passenger side, it did not lock up. However, the piston will not fully retract into the caliper. And what happens over time, the pistons on the calipers get rusted and pitted, so that machine surface can no longer go back into the caliper housing. This is the driver's side rear wheel right now, and you can see that brake pad has been ground down to nothing. And that's metal to metal contact. The piston is right here, and that's as far as it will go back in. Passenger side has a little bit of brake pad left, but you can see that brake pad has only got a sliver left. That's as far as that piston will retract in the caliper as well. That piston needs to be all the way back in the caliper in order to fit the new brake pads. The other thing, we're going to remove the rear wheel because your vehicle had a note in it that we do a 5-tire rotation, and we already have 2 broken studs. And unfortunately, with the way this is set up, if you look back here, that stud is welded to the bracket. We had just done the bracket on the other Jeep that you own. This vehicle is going to need the same thing. Ultimately, the studs are not replaceable. I do have one more strip lug nuts on the driver's side rear. And sometimes we find that when you have these aftermarket spline drives, they allow corrosion in, so that basically that spline drive nut bonds to the actual stud and causes exactly what you see. The wheel nuts themselves, they do not sell individually. I can do the one stud on the passenger rear wheel, but I would have to get a set of these spline drive lug nuts. Ultimately, you're welcome to take the ones that we don't use. We'll put all the new ones on here and save the old good ones, but it would have to be purchased as a 20-piece set for the lug nuts. And it's not very expensive. You know, we can do all 4 wheels pretty easily. They're readily available. The front brakes have plenty of life left on them. As you can see, brake pad and brake pad. But we would like to do a caliper service where we take apart the slides here and here, we clean and lubricate them. You can see the piston did go back on that caliper. We did check it. They retracted into the housing. But what we like to do, there's supposed to be lubrication on the slides, the hardware, the calipers where they make contact with the brake pad. So we would like to just service the front brakes, clean and lubricate them so everything's moving freely and you get longer life out of the front brakes. My name is Jerry. When you get done viewing the video, please give me a call, 440-439-2244. Thank you.